תצא עוד דקה.
Do you need a button?
Open your mouth. Big. Maybe. I'm online.
Już mam tam wkrętkę.
Tomorrow. That's it. You will have me half an hour here. Thank you. איפה השלט?
היא שמה לך אותו בכיס.
כן? וואלה.
הקליקר, אתה לא שם, אני ראיתי שלא שמת לב.
לא, הכל בסדר.
יש?
לא יודע, בחצי? בול?
מתחילים?
כן?
Hello everyone and welcome. I'm honored that we invite Professor Odilo prayer. And he will demonstrate Professor Oren.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. First of all, I would like to thank you for the time that you allowed us to present this technology. I am extremely privileged and proud to present today one of the most, I think, extraordinary and breaking through technologies that unfortunately it's not invented by me. It's actually brought from spine surgery, and it's adapted to be used in dental implantology. Therefore, I don't have the full credit of it, I just a part of it. So we will divide this session in two parts. In the first part, I would like to present you the hardcore of the technology in a very brief presentation, and then we're gonna perform a live surgery in this special bubble which was bought for this type of surgeries. This type of bubbles are used by médecins sans frontières that are doing operations abroad in Africa, so it's special filter that pours inside the clean air. And with me today, beside the whole team of IDS and ConfiDent, are two very dear colleagues and friends. One is Roy, who's the one that will operate the cameras, and Dr. Noah Barrer, and she is a co-partner in this project, and she will help me. She's a specialist in oral medicine, and I need one if I will faint or something bad will happen to me. So, I would like to keep the questions for after the session in order to have a good flow. By the way, we are broadcasting this on Facebook, so don't scratch your back or anything else, so it will be on the video, so be careful. So, I was always puzzled from what we are doing now for the last 30 years, because basically we are doing the same surgery, very, very basic, using drills, nothing special. And when I saw for the first time, and this is the genuine movie that I've seen 3 years ago, I said, it's probably a science fiction thing, because what you see here, it's a technology that is used by a company for spine surgery for over 10 years. You heard 3 types of sounds, which are completely different, and we're going to talk a little bit about the meaning of these sounds. But before that, I just briefly want to show you what we have. We have actually an osteotome, a drill that has at the tip of it 2 bipolar sensors. And these sensors are sending 5 pulses every second, which means that we have in real time a feedback that comes back to us. It's very similar of what is happening when we have those park sensors when we park the car. And I believe that none of us would buy a car today without having this park type. Yet we are still drilling blindly and taking hundreds of x-rays unnecessarily. And the technology actually uses this special, let's say, change in electrical conductivity between different types of anatomical structures, vessels, or even sinus. And this allows the surgeon to have in real-time work a feedback of what is happening in the bone. Basically, you have the eyes inside the bone. So now you will be meeting those 3 types of sounds. This is medium pitch, medium cadence for medullary bone. This is low cadence, low pitch for cortical bone. And then you have this sound, high pitch, which actually gives you the alert before a breach is made in a vessel, nerve, or sinus cavity. The beauty of the technology is that you have an alert. Actually, because the pulses are going forward, the surgeon is able to hear everything what is happening before it's happening. So this tool actually anticipates what is happening in front. This is a signing contract between Adin Group / ConfiDent with the French company that was done 2 years ago, and we are very proud to be part of this partnership. And actually what we've done as a first stage and what we're gonna see today, it's an instrument which was made for oral cavity. We took the actual pediguard, they called it pediguard in the spine surgery, and we made it smaller and with dental markings. That means that we can use it for any type of implants, any length, any diameter, up to 22 millimeters. So it can be used for short implants, regular implants, pterygoid implants. The orthopedic proof was not enough for us. So what we decided to do is to go and work in a special institute, which is in the States. It's called, it's in near Las Vegas. And we actually tried to see what is the level of accuracy regardless the experience of the doctors. So we took 3 different levels of doctors. You can see Noah on the left, myself on the right, and on the big picture, this is Professor Horia Barbu. He's the dean of the Bucharest Dentistry Hospital, and we placed implants based only on the sensitivity and accuracy of the instrument. And then we compared the results doing pre-op CT, post-op CT, and statistics. And we published this article a year ago in which it shows that regardless the experience of the surgeon, even those like Noah that never placed an implant before, the accuracy of the instrument is 0.3 of a millimeter. So basically now we were really convinced that this instrument can change completely the way that we are working and we are doing implants. We took it forward. We said, okay, it works in cadaver studies, it works in the upper jaw, it works in our hands. Let's see if somebody completely strange with the technology will do it. So we started a clinical trial in one of the best departments in Israel, conducted by Professor Surji, who is somewhere here, but I don't know where. It's in IDS. And what we placed, it's 20 patients, 80 implants performed only based on the capacities of this instrument. No preoperative planning and blind in the eyes of the surgeon. The surgeon doesn't know how or what will be the length of the implant. He is basically relying only on the sounds of the instrument. And you can see them at work together with Noah. Medular bone, cortical bone, before bridge. This is on live patient, one of the patients in the trials. Now, needless to say that this type of treatment allows you to do flapless surgery and will give you get alert if you breach buccally or palatinally. And as you can see, this is the pre-op planning. The surgeon was not aware about the pre-op planning. This is just the planning for us to be convinced that what we are supposed to do is actually done by the instrument afterwards. And you can see here the accuracy of the placement of the implants. All the implants were done with no intraoperative X-ray and with no knowledge of the operator regarding the length of the implant. We have CE mark approved, so actually we can work with the device in whole Europe, some place in South America and Australia, and very soon in India. And what we want to offer, not only our doctors and our future users, it's also what we want to offer to the future patients. Safety, accuracy, and most important, anticipation. We'll reduce the number of radiations because we're going to place less, we're going to use less X-rays. We're going to reduce the surgical time. And then this reduction of surgical time will allow us to place more implants in a shorter period of time. And we can perform even flapless surgeries. So we can allow and open this market of dental implants to all doctors that want to embrace. This was very shortly and briefly regarding anything that it's very important for you to know now. And we're going to move to the patient that we're going to have in a couple of minutes here. We're going to place 2 implants in the upper jaw, right-hand side. What we performed in order to place an accurate position, it's a prosthetic guide. It's not a surgical guide. It's just to allow us to place exactly in the correct locations of the crown. And you'll see this is the planning. Again, it's not a surgical stand. It's just a prosthetic stand in order to place correctly the distances. And you'll allow us 3 minutes just to prepare ourselves, less, 2 minutes. And then we're going to move into the bubble with the bubble girl, bubble patient, and myself and we're gonna do this surgery. Okay? Thank you. אבל הכל טוב? מעולה. תודה. מה? הכל בסדר? יפה.
בשבילי איפה?
יש כפפות? לקחת לי כפפות? כפפות? אוקיי. מה נשמע?
אתה יכול להיות ביור?
אני אכבד את הרעיון. תדחפי את המיקרופון שנייה.
המיקרופון של עדי. עדי יתחיל לדבר, תדביק אותה?
תדחפי, שומעים אותי? You hear me?
לא, לא, לא.
כמה? תצטרכו? תזרקי את זה. אוקיי, יש?
תפתחו. תדבר קרוב למיקרופון כל הזמן.
כן, תזיז אותו לפה, אחרי זה אני אזיז אותו בשביל זה. לא הבאתם לנו משקפיים.
יש לי משקפיים.
כן, נשים לנו משקפיים. Okay, you can hear me? Yes? Good. Okay. So, כן?
כן.
אוקיי, אז תוריד, תפרק לי את זה, זה מגנט. שלא. יפה. Okay, שווה לי. So first I just want to show you, this is a prosthetic guy, okay? And
לא שומעים.
you hear me?
כן.
Hello?
תשמור
Yes?
אותו למיקרופון.
Okay?
כן.
Better?
כן.
Okay, I'll put my lips to the mic, like a jazz singer. So what you see here, it's actually the prosthetic guide, which is made only to give us the precise placement of the future crowns. We're gonna check that it fits. Of course, we checked it before, don't worry, but we'll check it again for you. So it's a very simple guide. It can be made very quickly, even in the clinic. And now I'll show you the clinical actual picture. תרים קצת, עוד טיפה. תביא לי משהו להצביע. יש משהו? So this is the area that we're gonna place the implants. As I showed you on the CT, on the screen, two
לא
implants.
שומעים.
Two implants. Okay, better?
Okay.
Two implants in the right upper. Sure, it's started on. Okay. יש פדל? צריך להביא את הפדל. So as any regular implant insertion, we're gonna start with a pilot drill. The pilot drill will allow us to position the trocar or the osteotome in the next step. But I can tell you that we can skip this part too, because the osteotome, the drill, it's very, very sharp. But for the sake of it and for the didactic purposes, we're going to do with the pilot grid. Okay. Okay. So now that we have the first initial preparation, we can move or using freehand or using the throw cards in order to perform the final length. Okay. Go. So now I will open for us the throw card. The throw card is sterilized in ETO. It's a special sterilization used for orthopedic devices, and basically it can be used on a single patient for 8 hours. This is how the instrument looks. You can see it has a very nice transparent handle, and inside we have the electronics. The handle was designed for orthopedics, so it's very, very ergonomic because they are doing in one procedure sometimes 20, 25 pedigauds in the spine. So it needs to be very, very nice. It needs to be very, very nice and precise sitting in the palm. Okay, I usually use the device in such manner, and of course, with the second hand, you can hold and support the device. The device has a cap, and you can see on the device we have the dental usual, very, very known signs for all types of implants, starting with 6, 8, 10, 11, and so forth until 22. So basically, we can use this device also for placement of pterygoid implants in the back when we need to use a long shaft to perform the surgery. Okay? We have another device which is specially designed for zygomatic fixtures. It's longer and it can reach the zygoma in this area, and hopefully we're going to present it in the near future. So one of the first things that the surgeon needs to do is to take out this white safety, and this will start the action. I'm convinced that this device will not work now because usually it's the Murphy's law. Okay. And now we need to see that the activation is working, so we're going to dip it into the saline. Okay? Now, as I told you, and I remind you, this works very, very well on wet surfaces, on wet areas. It will not work in the air, as you can see here. Although the instrument, it's activated. So when you see the green light, okay, when you see the green light, the instrument is working. It's sending the impulses in the front, even as I speak, even without hearing it. But it needs a wet environment in order to get the right sounds. Okay? So I'm going to show you now the two versions of working with it. The first version that you can still keep the prosthetic guide and you can work with it inside. תזיזי טיפה את ה...
חייב צמוד למכשיר. לא, ממש צמוד. זה רחוק מדי.
מה?
13
צמיד להיות. אני חושב שזה להשפור, לא.
לא לפחד שבל. תשימי את זה קרוב. נתקדם. Now you can hear that we are reaching now the cortical bone. The sound goes lower and lower. It's a different type of work than we are used, especially the maxillofacial that we run fast, and Dove knows what I mean. So it's a different type of sensitivity, and you have to be trained a little bit to use this. Okay, this is it. This is the 13. We are on the cortical bone. We don't want to do a sinus lift. We don't want to go into the sinus. We actually want to place our implant on the floor of the sinus, just at the bottom. So this is the first implant, and it was done with the prosthetic stent. Now we're going to do the second one freehand. And I'm doing this because Shoval is a good friend of mine, because only a good friend can come and stay in this type of surgery surrounded by 1,000 people. Now, I just want to show you how atraumatic is the procedure. To show you how atraumatic is the procedure, you can see there's almost no bleeding. Because this is due to the fact that one of the actions of this instrument, it's condensing the bone. It's not taking out the bone, but pushing the bone in the lateral and the sides. Now, the second implant will do it freehand.
תפקיד את אמא שלו.
משהו פה, חבר'ה.
תפקיד את אמא שלו. ממש.
You can see again, we reach the cortical bone. We don't want to go into the sinus. If I will push it, then you will hear a very, very high pitch, okay? Because it will give me an alert. Even before it will break, it will give me an alert, okay? But I want to stop just at the floor of the sinus, okay? Now, the whole thing, it's done. We take the implants and place them. Again, we're going to use the prosthetic. But as I told you before, it is a technology that can be used with any implant in the world. שנייה, רויקי, שנייה, תזוז. איפה אני צריך מתאם? תביא לי את ה... תביא לי את זה לפה. נפתח כל. זה לא המתאם, זה לא המתאם. זה לא.
זה קצר?
זה לא המתאם, שנייה.
קצר?
דקה. תביא לי רצ'ט. השארתי אותו בתוך על זה, למה לא השארתם אותו? אז אל תחליפו בלי להודיע לי. It's a very strong the placement. I don't have anything to say really. תרימי קצת, אולי תזוז טיפה? כן. לא, רגע. בגדול. תעשי לי סקשן טיפה בגרון שלו. Sorry, everything falls. המכשיר.
אני אספור את הטיפות רפואי.
כן.
זהו,
מה? כן. כי אתם לא עשיתם... רק ניתן שוט בפנים, בסדר? שוט בפנים.
נעשה אטרקציה טובה.
כן. Suction. Okay, we're done. I just want to show you how it looks before we put the healing screws. This is the distal one, this is the medial one, and now Noah will place the cover screws. לא משנה, אז תשים healing.
לא, אני אעשה...
זה הזמן לצאת.
אוקיי, תודה, אתה יכול לסגור פה.
Thank you very much.
אז צריך לעשות פה איזה מגש. בסדר? Thank you, thank you. This is for him, not for me. It takes a lot of balls to come all the way to Germany to sit in front of you to do that. But I just want to make some points, just to emphasize the beauty of the technology. That when you get used to it and when you work, you are always asking yourself why I didn't have this before. Because as you can see, if you get familiar with the notes, with the music, if you get familiar with it, then it's very easy to play it. Again,